because I've never seen anybody get so many calls from the press. Where did you come from? I basically work for different firms. I work for a couple of different firms, and I'm somebody that knows, and I think somebody that he trusts and likes. So I'm going to do that.
All right, so I have to tell you, I'm looking at johnmillerpr.com. It is, it says, I'll show you. John Miller Public Relations, clients. I don't see Donald Trump on there. Client comments. Selecting John Miller Public Relations has been key in getting our story to the right journalists, from the New York Times to the Wall Street Journal to the trade magazines that count. PR articles. Anything from, oh, I don't know, People Magazine? Well, obviously I'm going to call this person because I want to see if they're Donald Trump. So I'm calling Don Miller Public Relations, or John Miller Public Relations. It says they're based out of California. Hi, is this John Miller Public Relations? This is Kinsey. I work with Fox 10. Have you had? Are you angry? Have you had a few too many of these types of calls today? Yes. Okay. When you say you're not that John Miller, or do you mean you're not Donald Trump? Oh, well, would you mind doing an interview with me? Yes. Fox 10 Phoenix, but we have a live stream called Fox 10 News Now that's really international, and we have a huge Trump base, and I assumed it wasn't you, and I picked up the phone to call you, but I thought you might get a kick out of it, and you might have received a couple of these phone calls today. So if you'd be willing to talk to me, I'd love it, and you would be representing yourself as somebody that's probably been harassed today. Oh, really? Well, I mean, have you been flattered that your name's been all over television inadvertently today? Well, you're dominating Google search results, and that's all that matters. You're doing something right. Obviously, you're good at your job. Yes, is that all right? Sure, you can go to fox10phoenix.com right now. Yes, and I can also cut it and send you your own separate link. Is that all right? Okay, so can I put you on hold, and then the next time we speak, you're on air? All right, thank you. One moment, please. John, I have John Miller Public Relations on the phone right now.
No.
It's like a real John Miller PR, but I'm
On
asking.
the phone?
Yeah, and I'm asking him like, I'm talking to him about how like being mistaken for Donald
In the
Trump's
heart of
publicist.
Silicon Valley?
Isn't that hilarious?
You're talking to him?
Yeah, and we're going right now. Okay, you can jump in if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
Right. Hi, John. This is Kinsey Schofield and John Hook from Fox 10, and you are live on Fox 10 News Now right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I want to talk to you.
Wait a minute. No, I want to listen to his voice. John, speak for us for a moment. Do sing a song, or no. Speak the alphabet or something. I want to make sure that maybe you're the guy on that audio tape.
You think so, huh? Your voice sounds anything like that guy.
No,
Wow. He sounds like a Democrat.
no. So we've got your website up here now. I should tell John Hook. I looked up John Miller Public Relations just because I was curious, and I imagine that it had to get a lot of. I mean, I imagine that John Miller Public Relations probably dominated Google today. People trying to see if this was real. You were the first Google search to pop up. So obviously you've branded yourself very well. You're in the PR business, so I expect that of you. And I looked at your client list, which is, it's fierce. So you're great at your job, and you've gotten a couple of phone calls today from people like me just making sure you never represented Donald Trump. Is that correct?
Yeah, just a couple, not as many as you might think.
Well,
Really?
Yeah, I think these journalists are lazy.
I wouldn't say that about journalists I know, but you could say it.
That's
Hey,
funny.
John, you're up in Los Gatos, right?
That's right.
I'm a Menlo Park kid, born and raised.
Oh, great.
So ended up in the desert. But this is interesting because Trump has kind of thrown your name around.
Yeah, I should get something for this, but I haven't quite figured out what yet.
Well, I know because I typed in John Miller PR because I imagined too that somebody would have purchased it by now and thrown something up silly.
Unbelievable.
And it's your website, so I think that this has got to be great free PR for you at least, huh?
Well, I certainly hope so. I'm looking forward to hearing from a lot of prospective clients in the coming week.
You think that they're going to be wanting you to manage their real estate?
I think they call in John now as a troubleshooter when marriages are dissolving and you're trying to spin it to the press. It's a new outlet for you, John.
That sounds great.
No, it was so funny. Have you heard the call yet?
Actually, I have not listened to it entirely.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to do that because it's a hoot. What do you specialize in? Let's at least get some good stuff out of this for you.
I'm in technical public relations. My clients are into the high technology area in a lot of very niche markets. So it's very, very focused in that area. So as you can imagine, being here in Silicon Valley, that's the kind of thing I do.
Hey, John, let me ask you something. Just as a professional, how do you feel Donald Trump has marketed himself in this campaign?
Well, gee, who could really criticize him? He seems to have succeeded in his goal of obtaining the nomination, so he's obviously doing something right. And I think there are a lot of lessons there for a lot of politicians to be in the coming years.
So you think it changes how campaigns will be run in the future? Because the question I keep coming back to is Trump was a known entity and a brand before this ever started. So he kind of came into this from a different place than most politicians.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think he also took advantage of his understanding of what was some real serious problems in the Republican Party that the other candidates weren't addressing. So even though he had the advantage of the brand, he also had the insight and the ability to act on it. I thought that made a difference.
That is interesting.
And from a PR standpoint, if Donald Trump is lying about this audio tape, he's had a couple of hiccups throughout his campaign, but if he is in fact lying, saying that he is not the voice represented on this tape, do you think that this will hurt his campaign?
Well, you would think in a normal world, by normal rules, it would. I certainly wouldn't advise any of my clients to not tell the truth, especially to the press. But with Donald Trump, it appears as if the rules have been suspended to a great extent.
That's a gentle way of putting it, John. Yes.
That is so funny. Well, I greatly appreciate your time. I know it's dark over there, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I'll send you a clip of this. But you've been such a good sport, and I appreciate you so much. This has been fun.
Hey, thank you very much.
Hey, John, good to talk to you. Have fun.
You too. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Okay. That was fun. That was cool. He's a very, very smart guy.
No,
That was fun.
I know. I was just listening to Trump's. I was listening to Trump's audio, and I said, "There's got to be a John Miller PR." And so I thought I'd get an answering machine when I called, but he picked up, and I was like, oh, hey.
So you think differently. You think differently. That was good stuff.
Thank
Nice
you.
job.
Fun.
Nice job.
Thanks for having fun with me up here.
You got it.
All right, so we're going to go back to, now we're going to go back to Trump's audio to people.